Hey ladies, Coach Rainey here. So we're gonna go over push, pull, press today. So again, we're gonna kind of set ourselves up in just a group lead, going through some exercises. So we're gonna start with pushing. So we're gonna start in our scapular push-ups. So I would start everybody in a tabletop position, so they're not having to focus too much on their core. But scapular push-ups, elbows are straight, sink, press, sink, press. Don't let them bend their elbows. So this one, we're pretty much never letting them be in this position. We're always trying to get them to press through. Retraction, okay? So we'll be there for 60. If you want, they can come up to plank and do that same thing, but it shouldn't be this big movement of their hips. So if you see any hip movement or arm bend, keep them in tabletop. Okay, moving on to just to a plank hold. So again, that can be knees, and then we're just focusing on keeping the shoulder blades pressed through away from the ears, not here. Okay, that's the whole goal of that, is to press through the shoulder blades. Then we're on negative push-ups, and I would just encourage you to start on the wall. So maybe demo, have everybody start over there, do a few 10 seconds with them, and then if you want to tell your vets, they can move down to the ground. But again, the goal is to not find yourself in this position. So I'm staying broad in my chest as I'm lowering slowly to the ground. They can get up any way they need to through tabletop, but we're trying not to see the sinking of the hips or the sinking of the shoulders. Okay, moving on to pull. So you're gonna need a band and a partner. So we're gonna start with a banded row. So I'm just gonna run and get one super quick. Okay, so with your partner, the best way to do this is you guys can just one of you can hold the handles, one of you can hold the side like this. So my partner is gonna hold with two hands the band. So we're just gonna start with our row. The goal is to keep the shoulders down and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So nice shoulder blade squeeze. We're not letting them round, we're not letting them shrug up our shoulders high. So they can just alternate on that. And then we have pulled down. So partner one is gonna stand like this and stabilize their core, right? Flat back, they're not arched, they're not rounded. They're gonna hold over their head, stabilize their core, while the other person's gonna hold the handles. And they're on pull downs. So they can just stay standing, or if they want, they can kneel. And the big part of this, again, is shoulders down, activate the upper back, and the scap stay down, so I'm not doing this every time. Retraction, pull. Okay, so they'll alternate on that. Partner two, again, seated, kneeling, whatever works for you guys. Then we're on our pull-up, our straight arm pull down. So if you can demo your pull-ups, if they're not quite ready, they're gonna do straight arm pull down, focusing on keeping the back stabilized and active. Or pull-ups, you have jumping, banded. I wouldn't go over kipping right now. So any variation of a pull-up that you would like to do, or even a TRX pull-up or TRX row. Okay, then we're gonna just group lead. We're gonna go back to the wall for wall snow angels. So you're gonna be up against the wall, elbows here, and we're just gonna do our snow angels against the wall, really focusing on that nice shoulder range of motion, scap retraction. Seated overhead press. So this here, seated, I would start with no weight. And again, we're just working on range of motion. And then on to standing overhead press, and of course weight is optional. So the big goal of overhead pressing movements is the core focus. So we're pressing, we're not ending up here. We wanna make sure as we press, we're tucking, just keeping that back nice and flat. Glutes tight, belly tight. So if we find people that can only press to here, one, their posture might be an issue. So if you round your shoulders out and try to press over your head, it's really hard. So make sure they're nice and tall in their chest before they press. And also having your arms out is a lot harder on your rotator cuff. So I always like to keep the elbows in as I press straight up over the head. Just make sure that if you tell them to get their biceps to the ears, some people will compensate by doing this. So don't let them arch their back. All right, that's your warm-up for that.